Welcome to our class. Today I would like us to look at the contract costing. Contract costing is that costing which is applied in companies which deal with the contracts. In most cases, it is applied in a constructional, the contract which are constructional in nature, where the period of completion is relatively long. So all the costs incurred in order to complete a contract are charged to that specific contract. The difference between the contract price and the cost charged is the profit. The difference between the contract price, the price which you have agreed, is now the profit. And difference between the contract price and the cost charged is the profit made from that contract. So there is a significant part of the work which is normally carried out on the customer side. As the contractee, you must make sure that the work is divided so that a significant part of the work is normally carried out on the customer's side. So for this contract costing, there are some main features which must be applied. Let us look at those main features. One, we have direct expenses. Direct expenses, in most cases, these are the expenses which are incurred for that specific contract. So a high proportion of the direct expenses is incurred in addition to the direct materials and direct labor. Feature number two is overheads. Overheads, these are the expenses such as site telephone, electricity, repair, water, and any other expense which is incurred when you are doing or when you are doing the contract. So these expenses are allocated to the respective contract account. So you open the contract account for each contract, then you allocate the overheads. So all other overheads incurred for the company as a whole are apportioned on a suitable basis to all contracts. So the proper share of these contracts or overheads are charged to a specific contract. Another feature is contract branch. Now the contract branch is a machine which is being used when you are doing the contract. Like we have the crane, trucks, mixers, lorries, all those are classified under contract branch. So for example, if you buy the contract branch, you can allocate that branch, the price of the branch, to that particular contract. But if you hire, there's a particular portion of the amount which you're supposed to allocate to a specific contract. So at the end of the year, or on completion of the contract account is credited with the value of branch at that time. In other ways, if there is any depreciation of the branch, it is charged to the respective contract. If the branch is moved frequently from one contract to another, then each contract is charged at the depreciation of the branch at a specific rate. Another feature is subcontracts. Subcontracts. Sometimes the contractor can assign some work to subcontractors. For example, electricity or plumbing work can be given to another contractor. So those who are given some part of the work, we call them subcontracts. So the amount paid to subcontractors is charged to the respective contract. For example, you are building a house, then you need a plumber to come and put some pipes, and also you need electrician to come and put some electricity wires. So those ones we call them subcontractors. The amount which you pay those people is charged to the respective contract account. Another feature is the contract price. The contract price, it is usually agreed in advance. Before you start the work, you must agree how much you are supposed to be paid as the contractor. So the contract price is agreed in advance. The contractee invites the tenders from the interested contractors. Normally, the lowest quotation is accepted and the contract is awarded to the contractor who gives the lowest quotation. So the contractee will give the contract to the contractor who calls the lowest quotation. That is the amount to be paid for that contract. Another feature is the architect certificate. Architect certificate. Architect certificate is given when the work has been inspected. So the architect inspects the work done periodically and certifies the amount of work completed. The work completed is given a certificate. So the contractor receives a certificate from the architect for the work which he has already completed. Then the contractor can claim the amount of work certified from the contractee. When the contractor receives the architect certificate, he can use that certificate to claim the amount for the work which has been completed. So the architect is appointed by the contractee. It is the contractee who appoints the architect so that he can certify the work. He can check whether the work which has been done by the contractor is of good quality. Another feature is retention. Retention, this is the amount which is withheld by the contractee until the contractor completes the contract. So this amount withheld, it will be paid to the contractor after the completion of the work. So a specific percentage of work certified is withheld by the contractee or the client. This amount is paid to the contractor on the completion of the contract. So the main purpose of the retention money is to ensure that the contract has been completed. Is to ensure that the contract has been completed according to the satisfaction of the client and all the work has been rectified by the contractor. If the contractor does not remove such defects which can be found in the work or in the contract, the contractee cannot release the amount. So this retention money is shown in the contractor's account as debtors because it has not been paid. Another feature is profit on uncompleted contracts. Profit on uncompleted contracts. When a contract extends over a number of years, it may be necessary to take some profit each year in order to avoid situations or fluctuations in the annual profits. So, in this regard, you are supposed to understand which profit you are supposed to take the contract account. So, the first profit you take no profit at the first time. So, take no profit. Take no profit in a very earlier stage of the contract. Number two, when the contract is in this maturity, then the amount which you are supposed to take, after now the contract is mature, you take 2/3 of the notional profit. Then you multiply with the cash which you have already received. Over the work certified. That's the formula of getting the amount of profit to be taken. There's some cash which is given to the contractor, and then there is a percentage, a particular percentage, which you're supposed to take. You take a that of that percentage as the profit after the work has been completed. So when we say notional profit, we mean the value of work completed less the incurred rate. So notional profit is the value of work completed less cost incurred to date. That's the cost of the work for you to get the notional profit. So I would like to give you the format of the contract account. So we have the debit side and the credit side. We have the currency which we are using, that's the amount column. Then we have direct materials on the debit side. So the materials can be issued from store. We have purchased locally. And plant installed. Then the debit side. Then we have direct wages. Direct wages, you write first the amount which you have already paid to the contractor. You get the total. You add the accrued, the amount which you never paid the previous period. You add the total. You write the total side. Then we have direct expenses. We write the paid. We add accrued. Write the total. Then we have the establishment. Establishment charges. Then you get a total. On the credit side, we write the material which have been returned. After giving out the material from the store, there are some materials which you can return to the store, or after purchasing locally, you can also return some goods. So the goods which have been returned are written on the credit side. And the materials which are inside at the close of the day or of the period, you write on the credit side. Also the planned value at the end of the period. You write on the credit side. And then you write the cost to date carried down on the credit side. So this one will give you the value, the same value, which should be in the same line. That is the format of the contract account. After getting those totals, we are going to carry them forward. Next period, this now balance carried down, we are going to carry them the next period. Because a contract, a construction nature will take more than 1 year. So the cost to date carried down will change to be the cost carried brought down. So cost to date brought down. Then we have the notional profit. Now we want to calculate the notional profit. Carry down. Then we have the contractee account. On the contractee account, we have work certified. We have the cost of work certified and the work not certified. This one will give you another total. Now we take the notional profit. This is a continuation of the contract account. Now the notional profit carried down will be taken to the next period, or now on the credit side. Okay. After getting the notional profit, there is a profit which I want to get from the contractee account. We write on the debit side. This one you are supposed to know where you get from. You must determine it because I've given you the formula. So the amount which you get should be equal with the notional profit. Then on completion, there is stock which is going to be remaining in the site where the contract is being carried out, you write on the debit side, stock on site. Then we have the branch, which is going to be on site. And we have the cost of work certified. Then we have the direct materials. These are the ones which you are going to start with. In most cases we have direct wages, we have direct expenses, and the profit. This one is carried down. So the amount which we get, it is the one which you are going to write on the contractee account. Okay, let us look at the contractee account. The contractee account is very simple. You just take a few items in the contractee account. We have their bank account, the amount which is in the bank account. We record on the credit side of the contractee account. Then the work certified, so the amount which is going to be paid, you write on the debit side. So the difference between bank account and work certified is the balance carried down. So they must be equal. So in our next lesson, we are going to learn about factory job costing.